Hello, I'm really sorry that we are starting late. Yeah, it wasn't planned. Okay, you can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Okay, okay. Okay. Um, so today we are going to be discussing about pathway for health workers. So how many of us are health workers here? Okay, it's like none of us for now. All right. I really hope that the people. Okay, Chioma, you're a registered nurse. Okay, Mr. Paul is a caregiver. Okay, if you're okay, Gloria, you're a caregiver. Okay, I want to see more health workers here. This master class is for you. Ayanda is a registered nurse. Okay, Gloria is a caregiver. Great, 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 great. Okay, so I'm hoping more health workers will join us soon because this masterclass is exclusively for you, whether you are going through, okay, and he says he's a medical doctor, beautiful. So, excuse me, Mr. Michael is a caregiver, all right. So, Mr. James is a geriatric caregiver. All right. Great, great, great. So I'm expecting more. I'm expecting to see more pharmacies, medical laboratories, and so many of you. So this masterclass is going to be addressing um, the different pathways that you can make use of. It's going to be addressing the costly mistakes that a lot of health workers make in the bid to, become a permanent resident in Canada. So if you've been following the trend of nominating permanent residents, you will see that is a very stringent process. So if you do not have clarity, what it means is that you will end up, starting with the wrong path, and you must have gambled your way all through before maybe you would realize you're on the wrong pathway. By then, you have spent money. You have spent so much because every process of the permanent resident is money. Every process, every step is money. You get that? So it's better you start early to have clarity on your pathway, and then you know that any amount of money you are spending, it is going to end up, for your own good. You understand that? So that's why I put up this webinar on November 20th. 3,000 health workers were nominated to apply for permanent residence. 3,000 of them. Although they were nominated under the Federal Express Entry, but then there were also other pathways that those health workers came from. You get that? So some of them were students, they graduated, and then they applied through the Express Entry. You get that? So you can come from one pathway and end up in another pathway. You understand that? So we're going to be looking at that today. Then I'm going to be showing you the framework, the framework that you can use for this, that can help you to move from point A to point B. You get that? Because just knowing the pathway, knowing the pathways does not mean that you are going to get to the end, which is getting a permanent resident. You may know the pathways, but you do not know the step-by-step process that will take you there. You get what I'm saying? So I'm going to share my screen, and then we'll talk about how to go about it. You understand that? So just hold on. Okay. So, excuse me. Something I'm trying to. Okay. So let's go there. So who is this masterclass for? You are a healthcare worker who wants a clear path to PR. You want a clear path. You get that? Like no stories, no stop at this junction. Okay, you start with this, then you stop, then you use another pathway. No, we are looking at the pathway that you will pick from, and it will take you all through till you get your permanent resident. You get that? Then you are unsure of how to align your profession with the permanent resident process. You have struggled with a low IELTS scores. You want to transition smoothly from application to permanent resident. Then this masterclass is for you. Now I want to ask, how many of us here have started this process? Like, you have started the process of permanent residence. I want to know, please. Okay, it seems none of us has started it. Okay, beautiful. If that's the case, that it means that, okay, you have. So which of them have you started? Is it the PR you started, or is it study program? Which of them have you started? Okay, you're about to start creating a profile, a his, okay? James says, I have my WES and IELTS, okay? Okay, Michael says not yet, okay? So, okay, that's beautiful. So, it means that you are starting well, because at the end of the day, you will know whether you are on the right track or not, or if you have started making some little mistakes. You get that? Okay. So this masterclass is not for you if you do not intend to relocate as a healthcare worker. You already have an extensive knowledge of this process. So whatever I'm going to say today, you already know them. You prefer to gamble your way until you get a result. You prefer shortcuts and not patient with strategic process. You get that? So because this journey is not for those that love shortcuts. You get. Now, my promise to you, as long as you stay to the end of this masterclass, you will know the framework, like actionable formula. That's why I call it a framework. Action formula to put in place for effective results. You will know how to avoid costly mistakes excuse me, and delays while securing permanent residence. Because the truth is, by the time you start gambling your way in and out, you're already making mistakes. You try this, it doesn't work, you try another one, and you're already spending tons of money. That is what we do not want. Now, in return, I ask you to keep an open mind. I know that for some of us here, we already have like an idea of how the process is in your head. Now, sometimes it's difficult to accept new ideas. Just have an open mind and follow through. Eliminate all distractions against your focus for this masterclass. Take plenty of notes so you can start implementing what you learned. There. Tips to watch this masterclass effectively. I know some of us are mommies here, daddies here, distractions here and there. So if you want to really follow through, because once a slide is passed, I might not go back to them again. So it's just ahead, you know, get that, so that we don't waste time. So treat yourself to a quiet, comfortable space where you won't be interrupted for the duration of this masterclass, and have a list of questions ready so you can stay engaged with the masterclass. You're going to be learning the 4 pathways that are available to health workers for permanent residents. You will discover proven pathways that other health workers have used in getting a permanent resident in Canada. And then you will learn the proven formula that healthcare professionals use to secure a permanent resident. Now, for those of you who will stay till the end of this masterclass, you are going to be getting the top 35 healthcare occupations in demand lists where these permanent residents are dished from. Canada works with a list. Not all. I can bet you that right now we have like over 100 healthcare occupations, but Canada streamlined theirs to 35 occupations that they are in need of. You get that? Both at the federal level and at the provincial level. So even for you that wants to do a healthcare course of study, you have to align your course selection to those lists, to the lists of those occupations. So that is where you start from. You need to know what these 35 healthcare occupations are. So if you stay till the end, you are going to get the PDF copies to be sent to your email. You get that? Now, this is the picture we all have in our heads, right? Like we want to see that our passports are stamped with a permanent resident visa, and then we take off. We take off, like, and not just any stamp, not just any. For some people, because of their limited knowledge, what they are hustling for is work permits. For students, postgraduate work permits. Those ones are called temporal resident, temporal resident visas. They are temporal. Anything work permits, postgraduate work permits, they're all temporal. Visiting visa, they're all temporal. You get that? The main thing for you is the permanent residence. You can see that in your immigration. That is what we are talking about. Even when I do consultation with my students, with prospective students, everything I am discussing with them, what is going to determine my strategic session with them is, how will this person end up with a PR? I am not looking at the short-term goal, which is postgraduate work permit. Postgraduate work permit will expire. And once it expires, that is the end. It comes only once. Work permit. Oh, I'm going to work in Canada. How can I get a job in Canada as a caregiver, as a medical doctor, as a pharmacist? If you get jobs from outside Canada, you are given a work permit. By the time you come in, you are now going to work your way into getting PR. You understand that? So I normally start from the end goal. PR is the end goal. So that end goal defines every other thing that I do with my students. You understand that? So if you know that this is what you require, this is what I want, this is just my dream, my vision, please, I need to see your comments. You get that? I want you to possess it. This is what you want. The Bible said that as far as your eyes can see, you shall possess. That is why I made this picture intentional. I want you to begin to view where you are headed to. View it. It needs to be a picture in your head. You get that? You cannot, even in real life, you cannot achieve what you don't have the picture of, a vision of. You understand that? So if you know this is what you desire for yourself, I want to see it. State it in the comment box. Okay, I want a PR in Canada for my family and I. Yes, PR is the first goal. After which citizenship comes. Exactly. That is just it. It's PR first. Yes. I need a PR. I want this PR. This is my desire. Beautiful. You need to have it in your head. You need to have it. If you don't have this picture, even if your helper comes tomorrow to ask you, what do you really want? I bet you might just be saying, I want to go to Canada, but you don't even know what you're going to Canada to do. You get that? So first point of call is, I'm going to Canada as a PR. I want you to help me with a permanent residence. That is the end goal for anybody, whether it is direct permanent residence, whether it is as a student. There is an end goal. You get that? You do not want to stop in a junction and then you are stuck there and you begin to wonder, which direction should I take again? Which direction leads to PR? No, you should know the end from when you start. You should know the end. So anybody that's going to help you with this process, you should be asking the person, okay, this process you have shown me now, how does it now transit to PR? That should be the first question you are asking. How does it transit? It's not just to tell you, you know what, we have this pathway, we have that pathway. For me, because it's an individual journey, I tell you that the pathway that brought your friend to Canada may not bring you, because you both have what? Different profile. Your age is not your friend's age. Your occupation is not your friend's occupation. You get that? So at the end of the day, the pathway that your friend or your family or your relation sibling used in getting to Canada will not be for you. You understand that? So because I get people, they'll come and tell me, my cousin went to the Federal Express Entry. You get that? And I ask them question, how old is your cousin? How old are you? By the time I evaluate your profile, I tell them, no way, you can't use this express entry to go as your cousin. This is why your cousin was able to make use of the federal express entry. You understand that? So you should always know, you should always be very, very intentional about finding out how does this route get me get me a permanent resident. You get that? Okay, so let's move on. So for those who do not know me, my name is Ngozi Okolo. I am a wife and I am a mom to 4 children. And I am an ICF certified educational consultant for 5 years and counting now. I'm also an IELTS preparatory coach, and I've trained over 300 students, like in over 10 batches. I do not even want to exaggerate. That's why I picked only 10 because we've been on for more than 2 years now. So our batches are like, some takes they are 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, depending on how much you are able to handle. You get that? Then I have been a guide to them in getting a permanent resident. So most of the people who would enroll for for my IELTS preparatory class, most of them, 95% of them, are going for direct permanent resident. So it really exposed me to knowing their struggles. You get that? Because I communicate to them. They come for me for guide. Okay, you are here, madam. How can you help us? You get that? So this is where the inspiration for this framework came from. You get that? Because I saw that most of them, they know what the pathways are, but they don't even have clarity. They don't know where they belong. And even when they know, how do we start? What is the first step? They don't know it. In every journey, there is a first step. You need to know what the first step is, what the next step is, just like that, until it gets you to your destination. You understand that? So my job as an educational consultant is to help students, both high school students, master's graduates, bachelor's graduates, those going for their master's program. I help them not just to secure an admission. I help them starting from course selection, the course that aligns with what Canada needs, the course that will make them relevant in the Canadian market. Not just to graduate and you spend 10 months, no job, because your course is not in the market of the province you study. So nobody needs you. You get that? So it's a very intentional step I take with my students. You get that? And so I help them in achieving not just to get a postgraduate work permit at the end of their studies, but also to get a permanent residence. That is the goal. That is the goal. You get that? In 2024, this year, between the statistics on ground now, between January and September 2024, over 14,000 international students have applied for asylum. You get that? Many students or many prospective students, once they're applying for study program, what is in their mind? You see the way I said view that picture? For them, what is in their mind is how to get affordable school and how to get a study visa. And I always tell them when they come for consultation that all these people who applied for asylum, they all had study visa. I mean, they didn't fall into Canada. So as at when they applied for their study program, the aim was study visa. That's what everybody celebrates, study visa. But study visa is what? A vehicle. If you have done part 1 of your study selection well, study visa is a vehicle that will bring you into this country. You get that? To be able to utilize the right decision you have taken. If also you have also your phase one, getting a good study selection didn't go well, you just picked up a course because it was affordable, then by the time your study visa will also carry you to come and execute a program that will lead you to nowhere. So I'm very, 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 very intentional when it comes to selection for my students. Course selection, provincial selection, and institute selection. Now, I want you to see these are testimonials of my students that did IELTS with me. So these ones are not study program. They did IELTS with me, and they came for me for a guide. Because what happens is some of them start this IELTS. At the end of the day, if they had done the initial consultation to even know if to go ahead with an IELTS, I said there is a first step. You get that? But they did not go through first step. They just heard from people that you need to write an IELTS if you're interested in relocating to Canada. They just jumped into it, paid for class. By the time they're coming to say, oh, because I normally have sessions with them. You get that? I have sessions with them, like a group session where I go through their profile. And then I will see some of them, I will see the age of some of them, and I'm like, really? This your age? Like, you can't even get a PR in Canada. It's not even possible with this age. You get that? Not to talk of what the person does as an occupation. You get that? So these are just some of the testimonials. My God, it took me so much time to look for these, because whenever I do masterclass, it's mostly for study purpose, right? I hardly showcase the people I helped that went through the PR. So, but these people they were my IELTS students. So these ones were able to go through the process. You can see this one got a nomination to apply for Saskatchewan Provincial Nomination Program. This one sent me a message that his ITA has come. ITA's invitation to apply for permanent resident. Then, then this one is another one. He got his own in Manitoba. You get that? You can see their expressions. And this one got, okay, this one is a study permit. It's a study permit approval. That shouldn't be here. I have another place for that. Okay, so you can see this one. She came in when she became true. She got her PR, and she and her family. It was during the COVID time when she landed Canada, and they had to stay for 3 days isolation in the hotel. You get that? So these I told you, I've been in this industry for like 5 years. So this one just to inform you that she has got a student visa. Okay, so that's it. So these are just the few I could get. I mean, they were taking me so much time to go through my old phones, because these are some of the, you can see some of these are 2022, and you get that. So so that's it. So these people, it was during my interaction with them, not just this ones I'm showing that testimonial, like a lot of them, that I saw the struggles that other people who were coming to do their who had the intention of coming here to get a PR, what they go to. Not that I know myself, but I didn't want to use my own case, because my own case is a peculiar one. You'll get that. So yeah, so let me just, so this is my own story. So this is my journey to understanding the PR struggles of others. In my role, I go beyond teaching IELTS. So every 2 weeks, I check in with my students. listening to their challenges and offering guidance to help them navigate the PR process. These interactions inspired me to develop the step-by-step, guide to tailor their needs. Many who followed the guide diligently are now living in Canada, achieving their relocation dreams. Then, through these experiences, I've gained a deep understanding of the struggles faced by individuals pursuing alternative routes. So when I mean alternative routes to study program. You get that? So to get their Canadian PR. So each batch of my student has brought unique stories and challenges. You get that? So this is where it started from. Sorry. I came to Canada through the Federal Skilled Workers Program. Like many, I faced my share of challenges during the process. My stories. So I faced relentless obstacles, including 6 multiple attempts at IELTS exam. So you see, this was already inspired my preparatory class because I knew a lot of you were struggling like me. You get that? So, including 6 multiple attempts at IELTS exam to meet the nomination score requirements. My family and friends often questioned my choices, and sometimes even I doubted myself. It wasn't funny. You know what six multiple attempts means? Like, I just refused to give up. I refused because, they always say, what is your why? Why are you going through, a venture? Why? There must be something. You get that? For me, it was my son. I needed to get my son out of the country because he had serious health issues, and to worsen it, he was misdiagnosed in Nigeria, and he was on wrong medication for 2 years. So I didn't even know he was. You get that? As at the time I was doing all these exams, I didn't know he was on wrong medication. We're giving it to him, and I just know that he was not improving. He was deteriorating by the day. And that was what pushed me. It pushed me like I didn't care if I was going to write 10 IELTS tests. Yeah, it wasn't easy. If you prepare for only one test, you will understand what 6 tests mean. And now this 6 doesn't mean that I do fail. No, I needed to get the score requirements. You get that? You see, I said, what I wrote here, I said, including 6 multiple attempts at the exam to meet the nomination score requirement. That's the most important. That was because I knew what the score requirement was. So I knew that my scores were not meeting up. I just kept coming close. I needed to hit that high score that would get me a nomination. You get that? Because permanent resident in Canada is points-based. They look at your age, they look at your years of work experience, they look at your spouse's own profile. A lot are involved. Then they look at the quality of your English result. There is a kind of score you will get. Your nomination score will be very low. You can never be invited. You understand that? So, however, until I started working closely with my IELTS students over the years, that I realized how widespread and unique these struggles could be. You get that? So over the years, I've worked with more than 200 students across 10 plus batches. You get that? And you can see. So I just knew that it wasn't just me having this problem. So it wasn't just me. You get other people were also going through the same stress. You understand that? So, and because I had that passion to help them, because just like I had that passion to leave because of my son, nothing else, because by the grace of God, I was comfortably in Nigeria. But then, Nigeria was not giving my son what he needed. I know the same way other people that were pushing also had something very, 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 very important in their life that they needed to live for. You get that? So, and I know that you are here too. I may not know your why, you get that, but allow that why to push you. Let me be honest with you. Because this journey, you see, when we started, I said, this masterclass is not for those interested in shortcuts. You get that? This journey is not what you just achieve in a twinkle of an eye. It's a process. You understand that? You might write your first IELTS and you'll be so discouraged. Ah, no, you mean I have to go and start reading again? But then when you remember why you are doing this, it just gives you that push, to keep moving. You get that? So that's why some people, it will take them time before they can get their PR. That's why you see many people, they hardly announce they are doing anything relocation. All you now hear is that they have relocated. That's because you don't know how long it took them. You get? So that's it. So now the career framework. I told you are going to learn about a formula that I use for my students. You understand that? For my students, this is what I use for them. Like for my study students, oh my God, on a regular, this is the framework I use for them, the career framework. Then I also use it for those who need guide for their direct PR. You understand that? So my students benefit. So this framework, this is how my students benefited from the framework. For my IELTS students interested in the PR, they have successful permanent resident by following the framework. For my study program students, they got admissions tailored to the end goal of studying in Canada, which is permanent resident. Then, most importantly, this framework bridges the gap to a life of security. This is why you want to leave, right? I mean, there's a reason why you read, you go for night classes, you read while you're in school. You must have told yourself, I must make a first class. Must. You get that? So this framework bridges the gap to a life of security, stability, independence, and peace of mind. You just have your peace of mind. You're not driving on the road by 12 midnight and you're expecting somebody to throw stones on the road or shoot your tire. You are just moving. You are not even thinking of that because you know it will not happen. You get that? So the peace of mind that you envisioned your journey to Canada, you get it. Right now, as you are planning this Canada journey, there is an image in your head. There is a reason you want to be here. It might be stories from those that are there already. Oh, I mean, I have my peace. You get that? My children are having top-notch education. My children are receiving non-taxable benefits, children benefits, a lot. Oh, somebody might have told you, guess what? I just went to the hospital and I was treated free. I was supposed to, on a normal day, this sickness would have cost you hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars. But just because you are a Canadian, you present your health card, it is free. You get that? So there is a reason why you want to do this. There is a reason why you are in this master class, right? There is a reason. You get that? So this is what this framework will help you to achieve. It gives you that sense of accomplishment that fosters pride and confidence that makes you feel relevant and valued in the society. You feel at ease knowing that you are in a country with a system that works, to secure a brighter future for your children. Very, very important. When I came here, I noticed that here it's not just like back home where people would just be building 100 houses because they want to give out inheritance to their children because of how the country is. Nobody has that time here. In this place, when you buy a house, you live in that house, you might buy a big house because maybe your children are still little, they need to have their own rooms. But the next thing you see is that once those children start leaving, they sell the house and buy something portable, small, that they can just share with their partners, and that's it. You get, there's nothing like I am buying inheritance for my children because the system is already providing everything. Your child will also grow into that system as at 21, 22, like called okay, so in 2022 here it's already an adult, but back home in Nigeria, 2022, you are still treating the person like a teenager. You get that, because they are still fully dependent on you. But here, 21, 22 they have taken, that responsibility of their lives. Some already buying houses, paying mortgage. You get that. Some are getting married. You get. So our system back home makes you to keep seeing a child as a child, even when they are old enough to be on their own. You understand that? So here it is totally different. So this is what I call securing a better future for your children. You understand that? Now, these are the 3 costly mistakes that people who start this journey, they make. You get? They start with choosing the wrong pathway. You get? You may know all of them. Oh, there's the express entry, there's the provincial nomination program, there is the study route, there is the Canadian experience class, there is a French class, all of them. But because you do not know the particular one you are aligned to, you just pick anyone. You get that? You pick anyone and you run with it. You get that? Choosing the wrong pathway. This means that you're applying to a program that doesn't align with your qualification as a health worker. You get that? It does not align with your qualification. It does not align with your age. It does not align with your years of work experience. It does not even align with the occupation, the health occupation that are needed in Canada. You get that? And you are making this mistake because of lack of research. You get, many of us are really, really impatient, to sit down and study this. You get, of course, I know by nature we are all impatient, but that's why there are professionals. That is why you have people like us that you can come and meet and say, okay, where do I fall into? You get that? Which pathway do I fit into based on my profile? You understand that? So another reason you are making this mistake is you do not have the understanding of the pathways. If they ask you to mention these pathways, you know them. You know them, but you do not understand the pathways. You get that? Then you are also relying on outdated pathways. Because of these policy changes, I mean, almost all of you here should have known about policy changes. Today, Canadian government will say one thing. Tomorrow, that part has changed. Like the rural and northern immigration program, they are no longer existing. They met their quota. They stopped. But if you are not following the trend, you will still be thinking that there's a pathway called rural and northern immigration program. You get that? So you need to be updated always and always with immigration policies if you're interested in coming here. You understand that? Then what does it cost you if you keep making this mistake? You waste your time and money. Like, that's even the most painful part. You wasting of time and and money. You get, because once you choose that wrong pathway, you have to start meeting up with all the requirements of the wrong pathway. And at the end of the day, you now find out that, oh my God, this is not even for me. But then you have spent so much, because I told you every step of this process is money. You get that? Then application denial. If you never ever knew you were in the wrong pathway, you will follow it up to the end. It's either you get an application denial, or you just be in the pool. If you have heard of express entry pool, you will just be there, from year to year to year, nothing is happening for you. You understand? And then whenever they call Canada immigration, you are so angry because you are in the wrong pathway. Now, but by the time you realize what you are doing and start and choose the right pathway for yourself, you will increase your chances of fulfilling your dreams of getting a PR, and then you will conclude the process at the shortest amount of time. You get that? You won't be there sleeping. There are some people that finish this process in 6 months because from day one they knew where they were. You get? The second mistake is ignoring occupation in demand lists. Like when we started, I told you that there are healthcare top in demand lists that Canada is working with for 2024 and I believe 2025. You understand that? Because things keep changing from year to year. It's just like the proof of fund for 2024 will not be the proof of fund for 2025. You get so ignoring occupation in demand. You just say to yourself, I'm a healthcare worker, and then you just start applying. You have not even checked the list to know whether your own area of being a health worker is in that list. You just find yourself there. Just like for students, I say to them, by the time you go through this list, yours is not there. Then you can now say, okay, is it possible to do a switch? Is it possible for me to switch to the occupation that is in demand? Yes, it is very possible. But then every switch has this process and has this requirements. So you don't just wake up and say, I want to study this course because it's in the in-demand list, and then you just go and apply for that course. Meanwhile, there is already a big gap between your present occupation and the one you are applying for, and the visa official will be like, what is wrong with this person? Maybe you are a banker, but you want to now do pharmacy. I mean, there's no correlation. You get, so there are processes you need to take to bridge, to make the transition from banking to the health course, to make it seamless. You understand that? You need to fill that gap. You get that? So if you're going to the direct PR, first thing first is you need to know the top 35 occupations in demand as at today. You get that? Then it means that you start a PR process while ignoring the healthcare occupations in demand list in Canada, and the certifications. You need to start a provincial application. You get, so there are some provinces that if, for example, you qualify for a provincial nomination program, most provinces have certification for healthcare workers. You get that? So it's just like the province of Saskatchewan. If you're an engineer or a geologist and you want to apply for a PR there, they'll ask you to go through their certification. They call it APEX. You get that? They call it APEX. So if you don't go through that certification, they cannot nominate you. You get that? They cannot nominate you. So you need to know if you have already clarified that you are going through the provincial nomination program. You get, so you now need to know the province that has your occupation as an in demand, and then the certification you need. You get. Now, you're also making this mistake because you do not understand about career alignment to occupations in demand. I'm going to be discussing that during the framework. And you do not understand the educational requirement that exists for health workers, you get, in Canada. That is, especially for students. The cost of making this mistake is application rejection. You get, by the time you apply as a health worker whose designation is not in the occupation in demand list, they will reject your application. And then you must have wasted money on the PR process and application fees, because you were going through this process thinking that you are on the right path. But when you stop making this mistake, you are ready to fulfill the requirements of getting a nomination. You get that? Now, the third one is overlooking the importance of IELTS scores. Many people that are applying for direct permanent residence don't even know what the score requirements are. I told you I was writing, I wrote up to 6 times because I needed to make the score requirement. You get that? If not, you're just wasting your time. You'll be in the pool year to year. Nobody is saying hello to you. You get that? Because your scores are low, and low scores amounts to, sorry, low IELTS scores amounts to low CRS score, which is nomination score. So your score is low. Not even the provinces can help you. You get that? So you're making this mistake because you are not aware of the requirements needed in the PR process. You get? So this is what you need to do. This is why I say before you start step one, seek professional guidance. You get that? Seek professional guidance. So professional guidance, you can have a session with a consultant, and they take you through the process, starting from step one. You get that? Then you can even go and handle everything yourself. You get? So, but just get that initial instruction. You get that? So that you know you're on the right path. Because the annoying thing here is whether you're on the right path or you're on the wrong path, you are going to go through the same stress. It's still the same stress you are going through. So it's better you are stressing for the right pathway. You understand? So these are the the IELTS results of my students. So if you look at it closely, you will see the score requirement. You see it, like all these, I had to select all the students that had the score requirement. Of course, there are students that are also struggling to get this score requirements, just like I did. You understand that? But these ones clearly understood. So when they were practicing, they already knew the scores that they were aiming for. You get that? So you can see listening here. Just take a look at their listening scores, because I do give them all these instructions when they register. They need to know what they are going for. Listening here, 8. Listening here, I can see that clearly. Okay, listening here, 8.5. Listening here, 8. 8. You can see almost all of them. These ones, they understood the assignment. So what is the correct IELTS score? Your listening should not go below 8. If you are here right now, you have written an IELTS that this listening is below 8. It's not a bad one. If it's 7.5, it's not a bad one. But by the time you calculate your CRS score, you will know the difference between that 0.5, that's the 7.5 and 8. You will see the huge margin that it will present in your score. So you can see then for reading, writing, speaking, do not go below 7. You get that? Do not go below. So you can see you see a student that they really did their best. You get that? So this person here, okay, this person here made 6.5 here. So if it's a professional nomination program, it wouldn't really matter. You get that? So so you can see it's just any testimonial I'm showing you here is just few of the ones I could just come up with. You get that? So you can see what the score, IELTS score requirements look like. Yeah. So I don't know how many of you have started writing IELTS. How many of you have started, and you know what the score requirement is? Or maybe I should ask that first. How many of us know what the IELTS score requirement is? Some people will take exams like CELPIP. That's another IELTS, another English proficiency that Canada accepts. Some are going to be writing the Pearson test, English test. That's the PTE. You understand that? So each one you make up your mind to do, you need to find out what the score requirement is. You get that? So I am emphasizing on IELTS because that is what I'm very familiar with, and that is what I have a preparatory class for. You understand that? So so do you know what? So if you're going to write your IELTS right now, do you know what the score requirement is? Because it helps you when you are practicing. Like after practicing, you see that you are making 6.5, 7. If you don't know what it entails, the score requirement, you'll be praising yourself. I beg, I try. Yes, you tried very well, but then it cannot help your your nomination score. You understand that? Okay, his okay, speaking 9, listening 8, reading 7.5. Okay, listening, you had 8.5. Oh, beautiful. This is a perfect IELTS score. It's a very perfect one. You get that? So yes, so that's a very good one. Congratulations. Yeah. So for other people that you might be preparing for IELTS, I just want you to know it. So if you have not intensified effort to making these results here, then honestly, you have to start today. You see, that's the reason why you are here. You get that? Information is key. Okay. And our next batch of IELTS is going to be taking off in February 1st. You get that? So if you want to be part of the batch, then you communicate with me and I will let you know how to go about it. So first thing first, that's why at the end of the day, you will know how I work with, with student or client. So we want to go into the frameworks. Oh no, there's a slide that is not here. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can upload the one for me. Okay, so just hold on a little. I want to upload the slide. There's a slide that is missing here. That's the one showing the 4 pathways. Okay, so okay, you said it's for your spouse. Okay, your spouse had speaking 8, listening 7.5, reading 6. What's the last one? Writing, okay. Writing 7. Okay, yeah, he did great. But okay, who is the main applicant here? Who is the principal applicant? Okay, yes. So it's better that way. Since you're the principal applicant, yes, but your husband's scores will really make a very good addition to yours. Yeah, well done. Okay, so so let's wait for the slides to be uploaded again, and so we're going to be seeing the 4 pathways: the Federal Express entry, the okay, let's see. Okay, good. So we are going to be looking at the 4-step framework. So, but before we get into that framework, this is the pathways, the 4 pathways that you can use as a health worker. You get that? To get a permanent residence. You get that? These are the 4 pathways. So starting from the Federal Express entry, you will see that you can see the features or their different requirements. You get that? So there is no way I can be able to write out all the requirements for each. It's not possible. You get that? So you can go and do that research on your own. It's on Canadian website. You get that? Or by the time you book a session, we'll go through this, in depth to know where you qualify. You get that? So for the express entry, it operates at the federal level. It is point based. I told you earlier that permanent resident is point based. It has a high CRS score. You need an English proficiency test. Then it operates different categories. Like it has one of the categories it operates is the health-based category. The 3,000 people that were nominated on the 20th of November, they came from the health-based category. You get that? Then it requires proof of funds. Then the other one is the provincial nomination program. It operates at the different provinces. Somebody was asking, what does provincial mean? Provincial is from the word province. So just like we have states in Nigeria, some countries, they call theirs region. Canada call theirs provinces. You get, so like Ontario is a province. So they are referred to as, their programs are referred to as provincial programs. So they operate at the provinces. They operate occupations in demand. So each of the provinces in Canada operates their own occupations in demand. Some provinces might not need health workers. They don't need them. They already have enough. Then while some provinces, they need, they have the need for healthcare workers. Like a student, I was applying for this diploma in practical nursing. I got her a province where practical nurses are highly in demand. In fact, the government of Canada is going out to bring practical nurses. So they're encouraging students to go for practical nursing so that they can be absorbed into the system. So you can see in such a province, you won't be disturbing yourself about PR because the occupation is very, 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 very high in demand. Immediately you graduate as a practical nurse, what happens? You get a job because many employers are looking for you. You get that? So it's always a case of demand versus supply. You understand that? So you get a job easily, and then to transit into permanent residence, by the time you are done working for, that is your postgraduate work permit duration, getting a PR is easy. You understand that? The same thing with those going as PR. You get that? Which province needs you like as a nurse? Which province needs you? It might not be one. There are many provinces that need nurses. You get that? Some provinces, they spelled out what they need. You get, and once your own occupation is there, you don't have any problem again. You get that? What you are now going to be contending with is meeting their nomination score. Because just like the Federal Express entry have their scores, provincial also have their scores. You understand that? So these are all what I put into consideration when I'm doing a course selection for clients. I do not just say, hey, you want to do practical nursing? Oh, Ontario has over so many schools doing practical nursing. So let me get you a school in Ontario. Or, okay, you say, madam, I need an affordable school. And I'll say, okay, maybe the province of Saskatchewan is affordable. I can get a very affordable school in the province of Saskatchewan. And by the time you graduate, Province of Saskatchewan does not need practical nurses. They have many. You start having problem with getting a job in as a practical nurse, you will be there. Meanwhile, your others that are in the province where practical nurses are needed, they are just getting jobs. You are feeling bad. Now you have wasted all your time in getting a job. Finally, you got a job. Now, how many years is remaining from your postgraduate work permit? You get, maybe you did you have a 3 years postgraduate work permit. You've spent almost 1 year looking for a job. How many years do you now have to apply for PR? Wait for nomination. Before you know it, your PGWP has expired and then you've not gotten PR. You understand that? So, but whenever you get a pathway right, you get a course selection right, you get a provincial selection right, it saves you a lot of stress, a lot. And it also saves you from wasting time. That time is the most important for people. The 14,000 students filing for asylum, they ran out of time. You get, and so they were not able to transit from postgraduate work permits to PR, and so now they're filing for asylum. You understand that? So you can also, so for the PNP, it operates at the provinces. It operates occupations in demand in each province. It operates provincial programs. Every province have their program. You have to know their programs. Then the good thing about provinces is that, here we said that Federal Express Entry has a high CRS score. Now, for provinces, if your score is not high, they give you extra 600 points so that the federal government will be able to get you a PR. You get that? And that's why most times when they support you with this 600 points and get you a provincial nomination, they expect you to work for them until you get your citizenship. So it's not after getting your PR, you now remember that province is like it's a village, it's like it's this. But when they were getting you PR, they didn't look like village. So that's why they will hold you down until you get your citizenship. Then you are free to go to anywhere you like. But that's under this provincial nomination program because they gave you 600 points. 600 points is not a joke. So from here, you can get PR as a health worker under this provincial nomination program, as long as you are able to identify the province that has your occupation in demand. Then a Canadian experience class, they operate at the federal level. It's just like this Federal Express Entry, but only for those inside Canada. It is equally points-based. It requires work experience inside Canada. So most times the people that fit into this CEC are students that just graduated. And that is why once your age, like here, you need to be less than 29 years and below to be able to go through the Federal Express Entry. If you're already more than 29 and you have the funds, you can go through as a student. But by the time you finish studying as a student and you get a job, you can get extra points from studying in Canada and from working in Canada. You get that? You can get extra points. So this CC are mostly for international students and foreign workers that wants to get their PR. You understand? Then the study to PR pathway. So this study, you have to ensure that you are enrolled in a DLI institute, that the institute gets you postgraduate work permit, because it is not all institute in Canada that gets you postgraduate work permit. So initially it does not require IELTS, but you need IELTS later when you graduate to be able to get a postgraduate work permit. You get that? Then you can use this study to transition to immigration pathway. That's one of these programs here. But you need to choose the right course to be able to make it possible. So this study program is like a stepping stone to achieving these three. You get that? To achieving these three. So you can come and study as a healthcare worker in Canada, study in a province that needs you, study in a province that has your occupation in demand, and study in a province where you meet up with your nomination score. At the end of the day, you get your healthcare. But at the end of the day, you qualify to use the CEC routes. You see it? You qualify to use the CEC routes or these PNP routes or even these Federal Express Entry routes. You can use any of these three by the time you graduate from school. You get that, and then you get your PR. So you can see that in as much as they said that the 3,000 people that were nominated for PR, they were nominated under the Federal Express Entry. You now see that there are different ways you can be here. If you are a student that did a healthcare program and you are less than 29 years, you get that, and you did a master's program, you can use the Federal Express Entry. You get that. So that's how it works. Then, so that's it. All right. So let's go to the next slide. So these are the frameworks. Okay, let's see, please. So this is the framework here. This is the career framework here. You get that? This is the career framework. It starts from here. Career alignment. How does your career align with the in-demand occupation? How does it align? Do you even know the occupation in demand? You get that? Then academic selection. For both students and peers. For you that is coming as a student, your course selection, which is also the same as academic, must be in alignment. You get that? With the province you're going to study. If you know that you don't want to graduate and be running from pillar to post and start panicking, you get that? Because graduating right now for students is almost becoming like a nightmare because they don't know what is going to happen. You get? So I crafted this framework. By the time I go through this with you before we start, you already know how to start, how you're going to begin from one and how you're going to end here. You need to know it. Your study program is not like saying, my destiny. Oh, I don't know what I will be tomorrow. I don't know what the future holds. This is the only program in life that you know that you should know how it will end because there are systems in place for it. You don't just go to a country and then you just start, just start moving without direction. And you say, what God will help me. Whatever the future will hold, you will, at the end of the day, you are going to be sent home. That's the truth. You're going to be deported as a student. So you need to know how to start from this one and end here. This six. It's a 6-step framework. Just like I had to cut it down to 4, you get. But this is what it is. This is what I work with. You need to know your career. Your career, you're a professional, you are a medical doctor. You go and check the occupation in demand. Does it align? Is your profession what is needed in the Canadian market? You get that? Same for students. You get, in fact, for students, this career alignment is broken down. You now need to do a skill mapping. We'll help you to do a skill mapping. You get that? A skill mapping that shows you that these are the missing gaps. And then those missing gaps will now inform the course you should be doing. You get that? There is a science of course selection. You get, you don't just say, I'm a nurse, I can do caregiving. Caregiving with, after 1 year, I will graduate sharp, and I'll just get a job. And then after I get a job, PR, after all, caregiving is needed in Canada. If you go through that way, you end up disappointed. I promise you that. You get that? Because there are many caregivers right now as we speak, and all of them are PR. You are even going to study. PR in the employment market, they rate PR above students. You understand? So that's why I said, if you're going to Canada, stop thinking about postgraduate work permit. Stop thinking about work permits that is for those that don't want to go through school but are looking for jobs. What you should be asking yourself is, how does it end up with PR? Now, let me tell you about somebody. I didn't want to bring out my communication with her, conversation with her here. She got a job in Canada she got this, when you get a job in Canada, most times is the work permit you get is called closed work permits. Only those going through study program gets open work permits. You get, if you are going through any PR program that will expect you to wait before you get your PR, then you are given an open work permit. But if you are coming to do a job just to work, most times you get a closed work permit, meaning that you can only work for the employer. You cannot leave him. So this lady showed me her work permit conditions. I cringed. I said I cringed. You see, before she came in, she was just after work permits. Oh, where I can get a job, where I can get a job. You need to see the stringent rules. She can only work for the employer. She can only work in that province. She's not going anywhere. She can only work in that province. And she cannot make use of other forms of temporary resident visa. Because when she contacted me, she wants to now become a student because the conditions were scary. Conditions. It was just like somebody being in a prison in Canada, but you are working, right? So she wanted to switch to study where she can get open work permit. By the time I looked at her work permit, I told her, I said, look at these conditions. They said, unless authorized, you cannot switch to any other form of temporary residence program. You get that? I told her the only way for you right now is to go through a permanent resident pathway. That's the only way out. And yeah, she's more than 35. You get? She was tired. You get that? So you need to know all these things while making a decision. You need to know all these things. So this is the framework. Then this is where I break them down. Career alignment. Identify the health national occupation classification code that your health profession fall into. National occupation classification code. All the occupations in Canada has a code. The top 35 health occupation all have codes. Which one does your own fall into? Which one? And then not just the code, the NOC, the National Occupation Classification, is divided into tiers. Tier 0, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. Only these tiers can apply for PR. Those in caregiver, their own is tier 4. Tier 4, you can see they have their own separate program. So, but if you want to go through these 4 pathways I showed you, your NOC needs to be in under tier 1, tier 0, 1, 2, 3. There are occupations that fall under these tiers. So you need to know the tier your occupation fall into. You get that? You need to know the tier it falls into. If you are going through those 4 pathways I just showed you, very important. Then this NOC code revolves around the occupations in demand in Canada. Then the other one is academic selection. You need to evaluate if you need a higher certification, such as master's degree. Now, you are less than 29 years. You can go through the Federal Express entry. But if you have only bachelor's degree, my dear, your nomination score will never be high enough to get you a nomination. You might need to use the study route and go for a master's degree. By the time you use the study route and go for a master's degree, you are less than 29 years old. You will get points for studying in Canada. You will get points for working in Canada. What does that mean? Your scores will shoot up. And then you getting the nomination score becomes easy. You get, and then your IELTS score needs to be the right score requirement. Then for students, your academic selection is your course selection, which determines if you are getting PR or not. Right now in Canada, students are changing courses. So because a lot of students are changing courses, they now said, if you're going to change your course in Canada, you need to go and reapply for study visa. You don't want to go through that stress. So that is why you need to know from the onset where you stand. You get that? You need to know. You don't gamble your way into it. Right now, Canada is too risky for that. The other is regional selection, which is like provincial selection. Knowledge of provinces with frequent rates of nomination for health workers. Now, there might be, all the provinces in Canada might have health workers as occupation in demand, but which of them are always nominating? There are provinces in Canada, my God, every week they are nominating health workers. They are nominating IT workers. They are always nominating. Then there are some provinces, in the whole of this year, I don't think they've done nomination more than once or twice. You don't want to be in such a place. You get that? You don't want to apply to such a place. So that's regional selection. Then for students, you need to study in a province that has your course as an occupation in demand. You get, when not just having occupation in demand, but top, you see what you see, the 35 occupation, I refer to them as top. These are the ones that as you are stepping out of school, you won't even stay 1 month before you get a job. That is what you should be aiming for. Not you will stay 6 months, 10 months. I mean, that is what is happening now for those that just want to pick any course of study. You get. Then educational institution. These are for students. You need institutions that has DLI number. You need institutions that can get you postgraduate work permit. Not all institutions do this. A lot of students have fallen into this problem. They now got to Canada to know that the institution that got them admission cannot give them postgraduate work permits. Then you need institution that gets you a fast track employment after graduation. There are institutions that opens the door. Immediately an employer sees that you attended like University of Toronto, University of Waterloo, Windsor University, those top universities, say no more. You will just be getting invitations because they know the standard of education from those, the standard of education from those universities. So your institution matters a lot. Employment and nomination. Your occupation must be in demand, and your occupation must fall under the NOC tiers. You see those tiers I was describing, tiers 0, 1, 2, 3. It must fall under those three. Is it 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 tiers? So that you are a health worker, go and find out, because even caregivers are health workers, are they not? But they are falling under 4. So that's why they have their own separate program. You get, they have their own separate program. You get that? Then your occupation as a student after graduation should be, what did I spell here? Should be able to get you a nomination. You get that? Your occupation. Yeah. Then finally, this is what you all want. This is what everybody dreams about. Permanent residence. I call this peace of mind, this permanent residence. Peace of mind, even if you have not eaten in a day, that you have PR is peace of mind. Oh, your child starts to in the night, free medicals. Come on, permanent resident, that is what you should be aiming at. Free medicals. For those that are in the lower income ladder, they get, their children get children's benefits from both federal government and provincial government. Get that? For students, you are eligible to apply for this permanent residence either through that CEC, you know what I call CEC, the Canadian Experience Class, the Express Entry or PNP. I mentioned this before. Then for you that just wants to apply directly, you are eligible via the Express Entry, PNP, and it all depends on your age. You get that? So if you know you've gotten value so far, I know we've stayed more than an hour. We are already wrapping up. If you know you are getting value from this masterclass, please let me know. Let me know. Know whether I should just close my laptop and sleep. You get, so if you know you are getting value, please let me know you are getting value. All right. All right. Okay. Oluwatosin says she's getting value. All right. That's good to hear. Yeah, even if it's one person, they always say that when a man of God is preaching, sometimes the sermon is not for everybody, right? Sometimes it's just for one person. One person. That message can actually just change the life of one person. So yes. So if you are that one person, I need you to say yes. All right. He said yes. Fola said yes. Juliana said yes. Beautiful. Okay. So like I said, we are wrapping up now. Now, this is a bonus I have for you for attending this masterclass. You get that? So this bonus one, the top 35 healthcare occupations in demand in Canada. You're going to get this. So for staying to the end, you will get this. Then for those that are going to book a session that are needed, so because you need this, you need to know how to calculate your CRS score for health workers. You will get this for booking a session. You will get this. For those who will come back to say, I am ready. You get that. You need, you get this as a bonus for you. You need to know your nomination score. Then, sorry, I didn't finish my slide. So my consultation packages, I'm just going to say it verbally because I need to finish this up. Maybe by next, I'm going to have another masterclass, so it will be there. All right. So if you are coming to consult as a student, you are interested in studying in Canada, you want me to take you through. I showed you this, right? I showed you this. You want me to take you through this journey. You want to know how to start, like from step 1 to step 6. You want me to take you through it so that you have an idea. You get that? Of what you are going in for. Although for most times, most students, what they need initially is the step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. These last 2 would happen when you have graduated. That's the employment and PR. You get that. But this first four is very, very important. The career alignment, academic or course selection, the regional selection, the educational institution. You understand that? So if, like, I have students that are here, some of them are, one is graduating this month, another is graduating May next year, and I'm just waiting for them. Wait, let me show you their story, their testimony, and I'll tell you something after they finish speaking. So, like this guy here. Ooh, shit. Okay, this is a YouTube on my, if I was doing a Canva presentation, the video would have played. Oh Jesus. Okay. Oh mine. Is it playing? Okay. It's like my staff is there. All right, nice. Please make it play.
This is Humber College. I came in through the study routes. So yeah, thanks again. As you can see, college. So try contact solution. She got you, right? Please, bye.
Okay. So you said this guy in this okay, let me just play the two so that I'll say what I want to say. Okay, put it on.
Candace Solution, the one and only Candace. I just want to say thank you. I am 1 month old in Canada today, courtesy of you. I remember 3 years ago when I contacted you and I told you I was denied study visa twice. You were skeptical. Other agents told me no, it is not possible. I can't do it for you, coupled with my age. I'm 42 when I will finish my study program in Nigeria. If I can get all the document, be sure your document was as if I want to buy the whole Canada. But I thank God today, I am in Canada, courtesy of Madam Candace one and only. Madam Candace, thank you. The most thing that is making me more happy, look at US. See Canada, see US. I can even go to US next year for summer, all because I am a student of St. Clair College. This is my school building, St. Clair College. Madam Candace, I just want to say thank you, and God bless you. Bye-bye.
Okay, so she will be graduating by May next year. So the first guy will be graduating by this month. So I forgot to share my conversation with him. So he sent me a message last month and was like, he would like to know the province where he needs to do his postgraduate work permit because he studied as at when he came in, this madness of asylum stuff, student not getting PR easily, it wasn't there. It was just when students could actually, like, it was almost like direct. If you finish, getting a PR is just almost like direct. But now, everything has changed. So he sent me a message, and I already told him, don't worry, just finish your exam, stop thinking about that. Finish your exam, and then we'll take it from there. You get that? So I'm waiting to have a discussion with him by the end of this month. By that time, he should be done with his exams, and we'll be able to take it from there, calculate his Ontario provincial points. Once his point is not meeting up with the nomination points, then I'll put him in a province where he will be able to do his postgraduate work permits and postgraduate work, and get a nomination. You understand that? So I'm with my students to the end. Now, this other lady, she's the other lady you heard from, she's studying tourism. And she was really panicking. Oh, madam, what is going to happen to me now? Because this tourism is not an in-demand course in Canada and in Ontario. And I already told her where her course is in demand, and that's what she's going to do her postgraduate job. I showed her everything, and she was just too happy. You understand that? So sometimes you just need to have that professional guide. So that's why I said, for this first time, these are what you really need now: career, academic, career alignment, academic selection, regional selection, educational institution. You get that? So I operate different packages of consultation. Everything depends on your level of readiness. If you are going to start now, so you want to start now, but you just want to get the initial breakdown of how you're going to start, all the requirements, all the processes, because I will evaluate your profile. For everybody, irrespective of the package, I will evaluate your profile, and it's after evaluating it, I will know the next step for you. You get that? So if you are starting now, it means you need all the information here. You need all this information, and the consultation fee is different. If your level of readiness is not now, you just want to know your eligibility and the cost of the program, the cost implication of going to study, or the cost implication of, I want a direct permanent resident. I don't know what it's going to cost me and my family. You get that? So if you are coming to get information on your eligibility for a particular program and the cost implication, that's another package. Then if you are coming because you do not know the one to go for, should I go for study? Should I go for PR? What, based on my profile, I don't know anything. Just tell me what to do. That is on another package. That is, you need information on the alternative route, all the routes leading to Canada, and which one you qualify for. So just like I said, I'll always start from the provincial, from evaluating your profile. You get that? So if your category is, I am not ready now, I just want to know the cost implication and my eligibility. You get that? For any of the program, I just want to know the eligibility and the cost implication. Then for 60 minutes, my session is 60 minutes. 60 minutes, I break down everything for you in 60 minutes. And you will know how to go and plan for when you are ready. If it's 2026, you are going to be ready, you will know how much you have in mind while you are preparing. You will know the pathway that you are, all these things. You need to create a vision in your mind to be working with. You get that? So that one for 60 minutes is $100 CAD for 60 minutes. Then if your category is alternative routes, I don't know anyone. Like you've heard everything I said now on these 4 pathways. You don't know the one you qualify for. You get that? You need clarity to work on. You need to know the costs of each of those pathways. You get that? Your consultation fee is 150 CAD for 60 minutes. Then if you are ready now, you are ready. You want to start now. You want me to take you through everything here. Just like produce a roadmap for you. Produce a blueprint for you. And then you can run with it for you and your spouse. Everything here. It will cost you $300 for 60 to 90 minutes because yours is an intensive session. You get that? So you go through it, everything here, $300. But there's something I'm going to do for all of you because you attended this session. In the next 5 minutes, this session will end. In the next 5 minutes, this masterclass will come to an end. If you are taking up this offer of everything here, of the one of $300, if you are taking everything here and you are ready to start now, right now, like after this, I'll schedule you for an appointment. Then I will give you a webinar discount or a masterclass discount of $50. So you'll be paying $250. You get that? So that's between now and when the masterclass ends. After it ends, we go back to the regular price. For the $100, if you are able to, in fact, for all the different options I just mentioned, you have a webinar discount of $50. If it's just for your eligibility and cost implication, then before I say have a good night, you just make your interest, you pay now, you get that, and you'll be able to partake from it. And just like I said, irrespective of the option you are taking, you will get a video of how to calculate your CRS score, both for your provincial nomination and your federal level. You get that? So the time, it starts now. It starts ticking now. You understand that? Then so besides this, these are the other testimonials of my clients. So you can see that, in fact, if I have to tie up their stories here, we won't leave here. So we're already running late. But this is what I help my students to achieve. You get that? One thing I do for my students when doing an application for them is that the whole study visa is free. I don't charge them for that. They only pay for those sessions. You see everything I showed you now, they only pay to get to know, because I told you, I know that for so many people, visa is the main thing. But always have in mind that a lot of students have been deported, a lot are filing asylum. This 14,000 I told you is between January and September of this year. I can bet you the statistics for October to this month will be out to know more. You get that? All these people had their study visa. Study visa is like your vehicle of what you did with the this part. With this part. This is the most important. If you do this assignment very well, you are going to come into Canada smiling. I call this framework policy proof, because no matter the policy that is in existence, if you go through this, it carries along the policy. You get that? It carries it along. You understand that? So I'll be concluding soon. Okay, so let me take questions. You can drop your questions now while we are waiting for those that will take the webinar discount offer. Okay, so if you have questions, drop them now and let me respond to them. All right, I didn't mention this. So our IELTS coaching, I told you our preparatory class is starting in February, and it's a 6 weeks class depending on you. Some people have done theirs 3 weeks to 4 months, 4 weeks, and they were ready to write. So by the time you start the program, you will know whether you are able to conclude, you are able to, follow up in that 6 weeks, and you are able to write. You get that? And you are able to write the main tests or the main exam. You get that? So for the 6 weeks, the IELTS preparatory class is 200,000 naira for the 6 weeks. It's 200,000 naira. So it's taking off in February of next year. Yeah, so I'm 42 and I am a medical doctor. Okay, what are my chances? At 42, so we mentioned 4 pathways. Let's go there. We mentioned this 4 pathways. So at 42, this one here is out for you. The Federal Express entry is out. Yes, you can use a PNP, but now some PNP have their age requirements. So you need to know the age. Like there are some PNPs, that some provinces, they accept application from candidates who are up to 55 years. You get that? So, but the implication is that they might be accepting application for up to from candidates up to 55, but when they start calculating your score, 55 years is like 0 points. You get that? So they still know what they are doing. They are going to attach scores to the age they need. You understand that? So you need to know the province that accepts 42 years. You get that? So, and then if you're going through the PNP as a medical doctor, it's going to be difficult. It means you need to go for a lower program, because you cannot they can't take you. You need to do some certifications to be able to be accepted, to be able to even go through the provincial program. You get? But you see the good thing with Federal Express entry, you don't need certification. You don't need Canadian certification. If you are less than 29 years of age, you have master's or PhD, of which your medical certificate is an equivalent of a master's. After you done your WES evaluation, or your medical doctors have their own evaluation, and it always comes out comes out as masters for them. So you don't need it here. You don't need certification. All the health jobs or health occupations that require certification in Canada, if you qualify under Federal Express entry, you don't need certification. But you see this provincial program, you must do their certification. You get that? So He said, what are the chances for someone 50 years old? Nah, it's very slim. Very, very slim. Don't just waste your money. That's the truth. Then who else? How do I get the bonuses? It's just one bonus if because you stay to the end, you're getting the bonus for the top 35 occupation in demand. The one of CRS is for those who go through the session, who go through the paid session. Okay, so what's the other one? What are the chances of a registered nurse, BNLC holder, 38 years and over 8 years experience? No, you can't qualify for express entry. I already said express entry is for those less than 35 years of age, and less than 29 years. That's 29 years and below. So your 38 already puts you for PNP. So you now have to look for a province where that needs registered nurses. Get that? Where registered nursing is an occupation in demand for them. All right. So that's it. I want to know how to identify NOC codes. I want to go through the study route for personal care attendant course in Newfoundland. I didn't see this in the classification. What are you talking about? The study. So you say you're going for a study route. There's no cut. Study to PR. Did you expect to see Newfoundland on this study? No. By the time you come for consultation, we'll now go through Newfoundland and Labrador is a province. So it's part of what I mentioned as provincial or regional selection in my framework. Then we go through it to know whether you are even supposed to be studying there. You get that? So I believe somebody must have said, go to Newfoundland and do a personal care attendant. So you don't even know why you are going there. You don't know your opportunity by the time you graduate. You don't know the pathway that will transit you from the personal care to permanent resident. These are all the questions you should be asking. These are what you ought to know, so that immediately you finish, you are just like you are playing a script. You are going from one script to another script until you find yourself getting a PR. That's what it means by doing your assignments. You get that? Okay, so any other question? Okay, so we'll be closing the curtain now for this masterclass. Yeah, so by next week, I know that next week will be like Christmas thing everywhere, but I'll do my best I'll see if I can have another masterclass, maybe for another set of people who are not here today. And if you want to be sure of your journey before you start, please book a session and let's talk. Don't gamble your way into Canada. The Canada of yesterday is so different from the Canada of today. You get that? So thank you all so much for coming and staying till the very end. You are going to get your bonus. Yes, my analytics have already captured your names and the time you stayed till the end, and you will all get your bonuses. You get that? All right. So have a good night. Yes, I know it's late right there. That should be like your past 10 p.m. Okay. Yes, it's in CAD. Okay. So if you are paying for if you're taking advantage of the webinar discount, so just let me drop the link. Oh, okay, I'll find my. Okay, let me just send you this one. Okay. Oh, it's not highlighted. Okay, I don't know if it's highlighted at your end, but you can just or you send me the email info@Candex Solutions. So ensure you do it tonight. Please do it tonight. Once it's tomorrow, then your webinar discount is gone, please. So that discount means a lot. It means a lot. I send me a message, James. I just discussed all the fees for all the, there are different options. You get that? So just send me an email now and I'll communicate that with you. You get that? So, all right. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. And I'm going to be having my next masterclass very soon is going to be how to transit successfully from students to PR. You get that, how to transit. And if you're interested in going to Canada as a student, ensure you are in that masterclass. All right, so send me your inquiries, or if you're taking advantage of our webinar discount, you saw the send me message at info, or you make, if this link is clickable at your end, please click on it and send me a message this night. Then I will know that you are coming from this masterclass. All right, so thank you and good night.